friends. Welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and I'm gardening here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. I'm in the middle of a backyard renovation project. Today I've made a few plant selections and I'd love to get your feedback. So come along and see what I've got on paper and give me some feedback and let me know. And there are some links down in the description below where you can watch the initial videos. I think I've done 4 so far. What I was doing today was I was just playing around with pencil and paper and trying to come up with a specific planting plan. Now in the past, I've already done a rough sketch of ideas and I've kind of blocked out little areas in the backyard, or big areas actually, but I hadn't yet gotten down to choosing plants. A few weeks ago, we had 2 huge old elm trees taken down, and that has really opened up the backyard in terms both of sunlight, but also lack of privacy. We also did a lot of work taking out brush and scrubby shrubs and volunteer trees. And now this area behind our fence is too open to our neighbor's driveway, and we really want to put in some things into our backyard that gives us a lot more privacy and beauty. Now we did install 3 Leyland cypress already, plus 1 new cryptomeria back there behind the fence. So I've shown you before that I have a scale drawing of our backyard, and it shows the current boundaries of our fences, our fence poles, our lawn and flower bed edges, some power lines, and some other immovable fixtures in the backyard. So I have updated this drawing to show the 3 new Leyland cypress, the 1 new cryptomeria and the 2 existing cryptomeria, and the existing redbud tree. You might remember in my earlier sketching video that I wanted an area behind the fence for evergreen screening and an area in front of the fence for evergreen screening. And I was going to keep the stage in place, but I also had created some sort of smaller lawn area and a lot more planting area than we currently have. So keeping those ideas in mind, I've come up with a new planting plan today. Let me show you what I have. In this new planting plan, I've taken the lawn and made it into a rounded rectangular shape with the top right corner cut off with the stage there. Behind the stage is a large planting area that's filled with evergreen trees and shrubs, and also deciduous trees and shrubs, flowering trees and shrubs, lots of winter interest down in there. The first thing that I decided to do was to add some structure into the garden by adding a trellis or an arbor right in the center of the transition between the lawn and the planting area. On that trellis, I'm planning to grow some wisteria and some climbing roses and who knows what else. Just beyond the trellis, as you walk through it from the lawn into the planting area toward the fence, there will be a climbing rose on an obelisk. And then you can take a path either to the left or to the right. If you go to the left, you'll go around a spring flowering tree, which will be pink in color. I don't know exactly what variety yet. And then you'll pass by some azaleas on the left and the cryptomerias on the right, and they'll go to the back gate in the fence. If you were to turn right after going through the arbor, you would go around a Chinese snowball viburnum. I'm planning to buy a small one, but then it'll grow into a small tree, and I will keep the limbs up high and have the trunks showing, a multi-stem trunk for lots of architectural interest. I know it'll take a long time for that to happen, but I'm planning to do that. And then the path would take you back into the hammock area, which is going to be a nice relaxing spot under the trees. Now, toward the center of the back of the fence, I'm going to put in a black lace elderberry, or maybe some other variety of elderberry, but something nice and large and also dark reddish wine colored that will grow nice and tall and give some a big mass of colored interest back there. Behind the hammock, up against the fence, we'll put some inkberry hollies. And then in the corner of the fence, I'm planning to put a couple of, maybe just 1, but maybe 2, eastern hemlocks, and those can be pruned to stay 8 or 10 feet tall, and they do well in the shade. On both the left and the right side of this drawing, right up against the fence, I have 2 big green bushes drawn in. I don't know what those are going to be yet, but I'm looking for something that eventually will get to be about 4 or 5 feet in diameter and 8 or 10 feet tall, and nice and thickly structured, lots of evergreen interest. So if you have any suggestions for me, let me know. On the right side of the drawing, between the stage and the fence, I'm planning to put in 2 Dragon Lady hollies. Those are really nice hollies because they have very interesting leaves, they get bright red berries, and they have a white trunk that shows through the branches now and again. And so I think that'll be a really nice, a nice addition right there. On the left side of the drawing, there are 3 junipers that are drawn in there. I'm looking for them right now. I'm not sure which variety, but I want 3 junipers that get about 10 to 12 feet tall. I want something that has beautiful blue berries on them and something that'll provide a little bit of screening so that that chain link fence is hidden from view from the top part of the yard. The only other plants I know I'm putting in are in the bottom right corner. You find I'm going to put in a limelight hydrangea there. I think that's a great spot. It can grow nice and tall and really fill in that corner with beautiful blooms all summer long. And then in the bottom left corner is where I'm going to put a camellia that I just bought the other day. I've never grown camellia and I'm really looking forward to it. The one I got grows about 10 feet tall maximum over time and about, I think 8 feet wide. So it'll be a nice mounded shrub there. But it's a slow grower, so it'll take a while. All of the rest of the planting areas on the backyard will be filled in with perennials and annuals, shade lovers like hostas, hydrangeas I'm putting into that category as well because not all of them keep a winter structure. Lots and lots of shade-loving perennials and annuals to come through here. I just didn't put them on here. I'm just mainly going for the winter interest right now. Now that I have a rough sketch, a pretty good idea of what I want to put in, I'm going to try to draw a 3D picture using tracing paper over top of a photograph and see if I can get some sense of what this planting plan would look like if I were to install it. So obviously I'm no artist. No one would ever accuse me of that. But using tracing paper and colored pencils, I was able to roughly sketch in the solid elements like the existing trees, the stage, the house behind our property, the power lines, and all of that. And then I was just barely able to kind of get a sense of what these plants would look like if they were installed kind of in the places where I've put them. Now, this is not perfect and is by no means very accurate, but it does give some sense of what it might look like. And this is what the tracing paper looks like if I remove the photograph from behind. Here's a little bit closer view of how I transitioned from the overhead shot to the 3D shot. You can see kind of how the stage and the redbud tree are related to each other, where the hammock is back there behind the stage, the inkberry hollies along the fence, the dragon lady hollies, and the unidentified green shrub, and maybe some, what are those, hemlocks back in there. So I just did my best, and it's not perfect, but it is a rough idea. One thing this 3D drawing shows me is that there's not enough screening between the grass and the hammock. I'd like that hammock area to be a little bit of a secluded spot, something that somebody could go back in there and enjoy some peace and quiet, and maybe even listen to the fountain from the neighbor's front yard fountain next door. So I need to add in something between the back of the stage and the hammock, between the redbud tree and the stage. And that would then screen that hammock from view of the yard. I shared this planning plan with my husband over dinner tonight, and he is on board with it. He likes it. So I've got my shopping list kind of roughed out right here. And I think tomorrow, if the weather's good, I'm going to head out to the nurseries and see if I can order some or maybe even all of these plants. It'll be a big job to get them in and to remove that grass, but I'm going to see if we can get it started. So yay! Night has fallen since I started this video, but I think I've got a good plan put together. If you have ideas for me, if you think that I've got some good ideas, let me know. Or if you want to warn me away from something that you saw in my plan, let me know. Maybe you have an idea for some shade perennials that you love, or that shrub on the left and the right side of the plan where I don't know what I'm going to put in there. Maybe you could give me some ideas. I'd love to hear from you. Please put your comments down below, and I would love to have your ideas. If you liked what you saw today, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and you can watch how this plan progresses over the course of the summer. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you watching the video, and I hope to see you again very soon.